Right now on SAU Weekly, safety concerns.
We want everybody to be able to get to and from where they're going safely.
Speeding cars and bus stops on Gaines Street spark safety concerns for students walking to and from class. And stepping up.
Offering items like these helps offset the potential costs they're experiencing or stress they're experiencing.
How people across the Quad Cities are helping a group in need during a partial government shutdown. And in sports, set for success. Yeah! How men's volleyball have turned things around on the court. Plus, the national stage. We speak with members of SAU Cheer and Dance ahead of their trip to nationals. Your latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University starts right now. Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Camden Connor.
And I'm Ray Romulus.
Right in the middle of Davenport, traffic is always a concern at St. Ambrose. SAU Weekly's Avery Lisk takes us to one street that has people's attention.
It's a familiar sight around Gaines Street. Cars speeding through and buses blocking blind spots. Students walk across the street every day with concerns about their safety. Gaines Street does have two crosswalks, but on opposite ends of the block.
And people don't use them all the time just because they're at opposite ends. So people will just walk and cross wherever. I do it too all the time. It's such a straight street that people shoot down that street so fast.
The traffic around St. Ambrose has also caught the attention of Davenport police.
Safety in the city is our number one priority. So we have received some complaints about some speeding and stop sign violations up in the St. Ambrose area. Currently, the traffic safety unit and also our patrol shifts are aware of the problem, and we've asked them, when available, to be up there to do traffic enforcement to try to stop those violations from happening.
Speeding is not only the issue. Two Davenport bus stops also pose a threat to student safety.
The issue I have is sometimes where the buses stop, you can't see around the side if a car is coming. So I'll have to kind of step out and make sure that a car isn't coming, but it's a total blind spot. And people cross that so many times. If someone has headphones on or something, or someone driving isn't paying attention, I could totally see it leading to an accident.
Davenport police agree. They also want students to be aware and take precautions when crossing the street.
We want everybody to be safe, and we want everybody to be able to get to and from where they're going safely and without any issues. But a big part of that is to make sure that everybody's safe. We have to make sure that everybody's aware. Stay off your cell phones, pay attention to what's going on around you. When you do cross the streets, don't trust that vehicles are going to stop for you.
With SAU Weekly, I'm Avery Lisk.
Thanks, Avery. The Davenport Police Department plans to patrol Gaines Street to monitor its safety. This change will help with speed control and stop sign violations.
Airport security workers are used to helping others, but now the community is stepping up to help them. A donation drive is underway to support TSA agents and their families during the partial government shutdown. The Quad Cities International Airport and others across the country are asking for non-perishable food items, toiletries, and gift cards to help support agents who are not being paid. Here at home, there are 48 agents and other managers working without pay.
And they are coming to work without receiving a paycheck, and they don't know when their next paycheck will come. So even offering items like these helps offset the potential costs they're experiencing or stress they're experiencing while they wait for that paycheck to come.
The Quad City International Airport is accepting donations in their administrative office located on the west side of the terminal and will continue to take them out throughout the shutdown.
A recent report from the Common Sense Institute rated Iowa as the #1 most affordable state in the country by cost of living. The report measures affordability in a state by combining 7 core expense categories: shelter and utilities, groceries, health insurance, car insurance, gas, childcare, and both state and federal income taxes. It's something that SAU students can certainly vouch for.
I would say that Iowa is a very affordable place to live. The cost of living is a lot cheaper relative to income here. You might make a little bit less in the state of Iowa. Income-wise, I don't know what I can make. I'm originally from Chicagoland, so I might see a little bit higher wages back where I'm from, but the cost of living is a lot higher. Even when I go to restaurants, it's about $2 to $3 more a plate back home versus here.
It's very dependent on like what your situation is. Like if you have a good paying job or like you're very successful in your career, I feel like it can be very affordable to live in Iowa. But if you're struggling like just out of college or in college, like housing can be pretty hard for some people because of your situations. It's very like situation dependent on your income or what your situation is with your parents, because like if you can't get help from your parents, obviously it's going to be a little difficult.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, households in Iowa only spend around 2/3 of their total income to cover necessary expenses, whereas households in less affordable states spend as much as 86%. Coming up next in sports, set for success, how men's volleyball have turned things around on the court.
Plus, the national stage. We speak with members of SAU Cheer and Dance ahead their trip to nationals.
Join SAU Weekly's Jess Vargas as she takes you inside SAU athletics. Stay tuned.
Visit Ragged Records, one of the largest record stores in the Midwest. Browse more than 30,000 new and used records, from timeless classics to new releases, and rare finds in every aisle. New to collecting vinyl? Check out our large selection of stereo equipment to spruce up your listening experience. Find your group at Ragged Records, located along Motor Row in Davenport, and in Rock Island next to Roz Talks.
Capture a piece of the past with Trash Can Annie, where vintage meets vibrant in every stitch. Browse our carefully curated collection of clothing and accessories, ranging from the late 1800s to current styles. Dress to impress with Laura's unique style and wardrobe consultations. Find a style and make it yours with Trash Can Annie, your destination for timeless fashion.
Whether you're a competitive runner, looking to stay fit, or just looking for comfort and support, Running Wild has you covered. Locally owned for more than 3 decades, Running Wild is the Quad City's trusted source for athletic wear and accessories. No matter your experience level, we'll help you find the right fit with all the top brands for running and walking and the latest in running apparel. Open 7 days a week, just up Brady Street. Don't walk, run to Running Wild, your run specialty store.
Tune in to KALA and hear something different. Programming that celebrates the diversity of our listeners. We're advocates for the arts, showcasing your favorite music from around the world. We're storytellers, producing award-winning news and educational podcasts. We're dedicated sports fans, bringing you the latest Fighting Bee action from St. Ambrose University. We're a learning lab, mentoring the next generation of broadcasters and content creators. A part of your community for 5 decades. We're KALA Radio, 88.5 FM and 106.1 FM. Turn it on and turn it up.
Ready the studio in 3, 2.
Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
We begin with breaking news after a vehicle crashed into a non-residential campus building overnight.
We should always have places to promote inclusivity on and off campus.
You guys got the opportunity to scrimmage against 3 Division I basketball teams. How did your team benefit from that later on in the season?
Well, I think it's just a great experience for our players.
Being able to run and be around the people that I enjoy gives me a reason to be passionate about running.
Welcome to Stingers, discussions with SAU Bees over everyone's favorite drinks.
What happens to you though, seriously, if you drink the whole cup?
You get all your papers done.
Yeah, right.
Last weekend, SAU men's volleyball team hosted a tri-match at Lee Lohman Arena. After falling in Game 1, the Bees bounced back in a big way. Fighting Bees hosting number 12 Bethel after the Pilots take Game 1 The Bees answer as Anthony Anderson sets to Pedro Zhang for the kill. The Bees go on to win Game 2, 25-20. In Game 3, Felipe Pareto sets back to Michael Bose for the huge kill, giving the Bees the win at 25-18. In Game 4, we're tied at Anderson until Pareto to Gooch on the kill, Bees up 13-12. Later in Game 4, Bethel with the block, but Ambrose keeps in control, Bose with the kill. Ambrose goes on to win 25-22, taking the match 3-1.
Yeah, it was a big win. I think our guys just kind of got locked into a higher level of passing, which was important to beat a team like that, and we were able to execute offensively, just kind of staying aggressive in all facets of the game. So that was key.
To me, it meant a lot. Coming from my freshman year, where it was tough against those top 15 games, and this year we've grown as a new team and as a new program, and I think it's meant a lot for me because it's just a top 15 win, and I think as a freshman year, we weren't supposed to win games like those, and just building up the program, it's meant a lot to me in the program, just winning and competing in those top 15 games and winning one, and now we can win another, maybe in the conference tournament and go to nationals.
Up next for the Fighting Bees will be the Trinity Christian Trolls at home Tuesday. First serve will be at 7 p.m. The SAU softball team is off to a great start and continuing their winning ways in the conference play. It was a clean sweep of Viterbo, including a doubleheader win on Tuesday. In Game 1, Alina Holder and Shia Meach combined for 4 hits and drove in 3 to win 6-3. In Game 2, Anna Enberg was 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored to win 10-4. The Bees have now scored 75 runs in their 6 conference wins. The Fighting Bees baseball team went on the road Tuesday to take on Olivet Nazarene for a doubleheader. It was a tough day at the office for the Bees as they tried to mount a 9th inning comeback, but dropped Game 1 9-7 and later lost 16-4. In Game 2, the Fighting Bees now head down the hill to Modern Woodman Park to begin a 4-game series against Viterbo. After competing tough all season in the Hart Conference, 3 Fighting Bee wrestlers punched their tickets to nationals. Giuseppe Guerrera, Georgina Moraga, and Josh Zeman went up against some of the best wrestlers from across the country when they took the mat at the 2026 NAIA National Championships. At 149 pounds, Moraga lost his first match but got a 17-2 win in the consolation group before being knocked out. Zeman went up against the tournament's top-ranked wrestler, Caden Ferotzer, from Oklahoma City in the first round and lost by technical fall. He bounced back with a 7-3 win over Tiernan Boots of Moran in the consolation group before being knocked out in the next round. Guerra competed in a tough 141-pound weight class. After losing early, he scored a big win, 17-1 over Connor Gimbraw of Indiana Tech. He would later be eliminated in the consolation rounds to close out a great season.
If you kind of look at the 3 guys who qualified, those are 3 team captains, so it was, guys that guys on the team look up to. So just having those 3 kind of step up, they do all the right things, they do everything we want and everything that kind of that we ask. So having those 3 kind of punch their way to the national tournament's a really good building block to show, like, if you guys want to do this, this is kind of the route you guys got to go.
Competitive atmosphere was there. It was definitely there. And I think I wouldn't have gotten to the place I was without the people backing me, the people in the room giving me their support.
Success wasn't just on the mat. The Bees also got it done in the classroom. The team earned national recognition as one of the premier scholar programs in the country. SAU finished 8th place in the scholar team rankings from the National Wrestling Coaches Association. Gianluca Guerrera, Georgino Moraga, Brody Schmidt, Brad Swearwillow, and Josh Zeman were named NAIA Scholar All-Americans. The lights are bright and the stakes are high as our cheer and dance team head to the NAIA National Championships. The cheer team is currently staring down history as they look to secure a legendary 4P title, while the dance team faces high pressure after a runner-up finish last season. For these athletes, the pressure is not just about the routine, but the legacy they leave behind. And as the cheer squad takes the mat, they are aware that every other team is chasing the crown they are currently wearing. For senior Savannah Schoonmaker, the target is a motivator.
Obviously, the pressure of trying to go for a fourth title would weigh on anybody in this situation, but for me personally, I just use it as fuel because I know that every single other team in the NAIA wants what this team has, so it just motivates me to keep pushing the limit and continue to make history.
If we won this weekend, I think it would be an awesome way to wrap up all of the seniors' careers. We have won twice before. And I think this team is just very hungry for that win, and we want it so bad. So just getting it would be everything we wanted and more.
The journey to the top concludes this weekend, whether it is protecting a dynasty or a redemption story finish. Both teams are ready to leave everything on the mat to bring home some hardware. Best of luck to our cheer and dance teams. That'll do it for Inside SAU Athletics. I'm Jess Vargas.
And that's all we have for you on this edition of SAU Weekly. We'll be back next week with the latest news in sports from St. Ambrose University.
Remember to check out the SAU TV Facebook and Instagram pages for our newscasts, top stories, and more. You can also find them at The Hive at sauthehive.com.
We'll leave you with this week's campus question. Who's winning it all in your March Madness bracket? Thanks for watching.
The men's winner, I picked Michigan State.
I have two brackets. So in one of them, it's with a big family friend group, and I have Duke winning, and they're still in it. But again, I have Florida winning in my other one with my roommates, and they just lost to Iowa.
I picked Duke.
Duke.
Arizona.
Duke.
Got Duke winning it. The Boozer twins are so good, and they're the heavy favorites.
I have Duke.
What about for your women's bracket?
I picked UConn.
UConn.
For the women's, I picked South Carolina.
I picked UCLA for the women's.
UConn. UConn.
I took Notre Dame. My sister's a big UConn fan, so I've had to screw with her on that one. It's going to be UConn.